Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Babakizo Kingsley Olukani Sharma. So, welcome back to day 3 of our 10 days cybersecurity challenge. Today, we will dive into the basics of networking. It's essential to know about networking after we have set up our hacking lab and environment on day 2. So, today, the topics we're going to be covering is our topics today is going to be understanding IP addresses. What is an IP address, and what do an IP address look like, and what types of IP address do we have? So next, we're going to be exploring the domain name system. What is a DNS? How is it related to IP addresses? We get a little bit of fundamental definitions for all of that here. An introduction to network ports and what ports, what programs or what services are running on what ports. We're going to find that out. I'm using Wireshark for network analysis. Wireshark is a tool on Kali Linux that we just downloaded on day 2. So we're going to show you what that does, and let's go. Okay, now we're going to talk about understanding IP addresses, just with the definition and everything down here. IP addresses are unique identifiers for devices on the network. They come in 2 versions: IPv4, which uses the 32-bit addresses written as 4 decimal numbers separated by dots, e.g. They look like this, and each of these that you see, 192, they could go up to 255. Yeah, they could go up to 255 each of these. So this is one right now. It could go up to 255. And if you want a deeper explanation to networking, you should check out Network Chalk YouTube or some other YouTube channel that have a deeper explanation on what networking is. Here we're going to just be talking about the basic definitions, nothing too deep. And the other type of IP address is IPv6. So one difference between these two IP addresses, you mostly would see this IPv4, because they said it's not, there is no more IPv4. Now we have to rely on IPv6. But still, if you want a better definition for what networking is and deeper explanation, you should check out other YouTube channels that does that. They have a really good explanation to what it is. And this uses a 128-bit address. So it's written as 8 groups of 4 digits, 4 hexadecimal digits. So long story short, the explanation for that is this is the bits. So it uses 8 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what I mean. It has 8 groups of 4 hexadecimal digits. So each of these are digits, and this is what an IPv6 look like. If you don't understand anything I'm talking about, just check out other YouTube channels that have deeper explanation. This is just to show you the types of IP addresses that exist and the basic definitions. So yeah, I could show you an example of what my IP is. So just go for ifconfig with the example I wrote down there. So let's go big screen. So this is IPv4 address. Sorry, I got confused. So yeah, like what I said, they could go up to 255, all of this. And if you're not getting this definition, this is really basic definition. I'm not going too deep, and because I get lost sometimes too. So this is the ETO, like my local address. And this is another one. Yeah, this is the local one. Sorry, this is the local one. If you go here, you can host. If you want to host a local service, a web service locally, you can host it on 127.0.0.7. This is my Wi-Fi, and this is the IP. Yeah, I have a VPN on, so that's the VPN. Oh, no, this is the VPN. This is the VPN IP, and this is my machine IP. I have one other machine running, so that's the IP address. But for the Kali Linux, This is the IP address. This is kind of confusing the way I'm explaining, but if you want a better explanation, check out YouTube for Network Chalk or other YouTube channels. They explain better. So yeah, bunch of different IP addresses just to show you, just to get you familiar. If I want to use any of these, I know what I need to use, and this is the VPN for sure, because this is it matches this. So back to our definitions. Okay, ifconfig. This command displays your network interface configuration, including IP address details. That's what we just checked out. So let's go to the next page. So next, a DNS, exploring DNS, domain name system. DNS translates human-friendly domain names, e.g., example.com, into IP addresses. So the basic definition is, if you search Google, it's originally looking for an IP address. So google.com is just a front for the main IP address. I don't know if you understand this, but I'll show you an example. Understanding DNS is crucial for penetration testing and web exploitation. It's important to know what that means or what it is. So let's use these commands, these DNS commands, to show you an example. NSLOOKUP queries DNS to obtain domain name or IP address. So this is an example. I'll use my website for an example actually. So NSLOOKUP babakizo.com. Yep. So this is my personal, like, the machine. This is for the machine. So don't look at that. This is what you should look at. So this is my website, and that's the IP address to my website. Let's use a more popular one. This is my IPv6. And yeah, it's not the craziest, it's not that crazy. You'd come on, every website shows you more of these details, so this is not exposing any information. So, and let's look up google.com, and this is Google's IP address. So whenever you search this, what the DNS is doing is turning this into this, and in reverse again, it's turning the numbers into the name. So in your web browser, you're just gonna search google.com, not the IP address. So, and you already know the difference now. We just talked about IPv4. This is IPv4, and this is IPv6. And this, I said earlier, could go up to 255. All of this could go up to 255. And yes, that's IPv4. That's NSLOOKUP example. We can use dig for DNS information too. It's similar to the NSLOOKUP. So let's just go dig google.com. Yeah, this is what the dig information brings up. What can we find here anyways? So yeah, we just found the A record, and this is the IP address, and that's all that we could find. But if we make a more specific query, we're gonna find more than that. We could find the mailing address too, like that's the MX record. Yeah, that's what we found here, just the A record. Okay, next. Okay, now we're going to introduce it to the network ports, and because the IP addresses you find, you can scan the IP addresses to see what ports are running on the IP addresses. So now let's look at the definition I've written down here. Network ports are endpoints for communication between devices. Each port number is associated with a specific service or application. Common port numbers include port 80. This is the web address of any website, but this is the insecure one. If you see a website using only HTTP, kinikon, it's not secure. If you let's show you. So whatever browser, whatever site you go to, it needs to have the http google.com. So it needs to have this lock on, but you see if it turns into HTTPS, that's the secure one. But if it doesn't have the HTTPS, this is not gonna be locked, it's gonna be unlocked, and that's insecure, and you can easily get hacked that way. So this is the this is port 80, the insecure HTTP web server, and this is the secure one. I passed that too. And port 21, this is the FTP port for it's called the file transfer protocol. It's for transferring file through this port, but the secure one is SFTP. So this is just for beginners, just so you know. They don't really use this anymore because that's the insecure one. And SSH, can SSH into a machine. SSH, let me show you what SSH is like. I have a remote server, like a cloud server. So I push SSH, I just put my username and boom, my IP address, and I can log into this machine that's different, that's in the cloud. That's what it is. Let's go back. So FTP command became example command. So we can see what's running on port 80 on our machine. So just copy this and put it here like. Well, I got quite a lot of program running right now, so yeah, this just shows you the services running. I'm just looking at it because I don't recognize some of these that I started, but like this one now. Who's connecting and where am I connecting to? What am I doing? Or within this up for here? Because this is my local address, like I said earlier. All of this is running locally, but this is hosted somewhere else. So I gotta look into that and see what's going on. Yep, gotta find out what that is later. Next. So now we're going to be talking about Wireshark. Wireshark for network analysis. Let's go through the definition. Wireshark is a powerful tool for network packet analysis. It allows you to capture and inspect network traffic, helping you identify vulnerabilities and understand network behavior. So basically, the definition and the simplest term for this is in between your network, let's say your Wi-Fi, there's a communication going on. If your Wi-Fi is connected to your computer, your printer, your house phone, your mobile phone, there's a packet going on in between them. There's a lot of packets going on. So you can capture that with Wireshark. That's like man in the middle. You just capture the communication in between and analyze what packets are being sent. It might just be web requests, those websites you're browsing to, or just normal packets the mobile sends to each other on the network. It's mostly gonna be HTTP requests being sent from your phone out, or whatever. It could be anything in the packet. So that's why Wireshark is there to help you analyze and see if there is a vulnerability in there and see what we can do. So next, we are going through the steps to do that. So using transition, we're going to be capturing the packet. So let's open up Wireshark. You can go to the application and try to just search Wireshark. You can open it here, or just go to your terminal and just type Wireshark, and give it a few minutes to load, and boom, it's loaded. So here we are. This is my Wi-Fi though, and these are my VPN. So if I just say capture on any, yep. So we just go click here. That starts, and this is gonna stop it. So These are the packets being sent on any network on my Wi-Fi. It could be the local Kali Linux, it could be on my Wi-Fi. So these are the requests being sent, TCP and UDP. So there's a lot more explanation to that. But we notice my VPN here is sending some requests to what? What is it doing? So there's not much to look at now because I'm not sending any HTTP request. But yeah, there's nothing to look right now. But you can keep looking, just look and look and look and see whatever you find. I don't think there's anything interesting that I'm finding here. So, and you can apply filter too for whatever you specifically you're looking for. Now, there's nothing I'm looking for. I'm just looking at if I could possibly find anything magically. But I don't think there's gonna be any magic here. So let's go back through the steps I was supposed to follow. So select network interface to capture. I just selected any, so I didn't specifically go for Wi-Fi or local traffic on the Kali. So that's just search any. So that's why it's capturing everything, and I don't understand what I'm looking at. So we can click start. I showed you how to click start on there. So the basic Wireshark usage filter. I just talked about the filter. You can filter out for whatever it is you're looking for. If it's the HTTP request you want to see, fine. If it's the TCP request and UDP, we'll talk more on that later. There's lots more to learn, but just bear with me. I'm just starting this. There's more. If you have any questions and you don't understand where we are even heading or where we're coming from, just leave a comment or just ask me a question. I'll let you know what's up. So we analyze the packets individually. There's a lot of packets going on, and now we're not gonna waste your time checking through them to see if we're going to find anything juicy. Let's just show you the basics and we move on. Shama. Next. So and that's the same one there. So now we're in conclusion of today. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We'll see you tomorrow for day 4. Or we're covering on day 4. We'll talk about the web application security basics and common vulnerability. There's something called the OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. Then we're getting into something interesting. Now we're gonna see what the real hacking is and not just talking and talking and show walkings. We don't want all this talking. We want to see something interesting. But first, we have to cover the basic of the, like today we covered the basics of the IP addresses. Sorry about my definition, but if you need more definitions to this, there's a lot of content available on YouTube, and just check it out for networking and DNS. Our ports, there's a lot of ports, and learn a little bit. Just make research on your own. And Wireshark, just mess around with it and see what's up and what package you can capture on your network or your Wi-Fi. And it could work on Bluetooth too, but I don't really fuck with that. There's not a lot too much on Bluetooth. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe and happy hacking. Thank you.